HyddenWell farmers, come closer. I want to show you something today. I have a story that I want to tell you. Now I tell you a lot of old stories, but I'm going to tell you a modern story today. Something that happened recently in my, what do they call it? The Forrest Gump life. This right here is a hidden well. This is a well that when I bought the farm was promised to me as a well, a water well. Unfortunately, nobody could tell me where the water well was. Come on in here. I want to show you this. So this is basically a 6-inch pipe. I dropped a line down into it and it stops at about 75 feet. And there's not a drop of water in it. None. There's no water at all. So it took us 6 months to find this well. Now, the previous owner, he had an idea where it was, but as he would describe it to me on the phone, through text message, draw me a map, it didn't make any sense because he really had me like way over here looking for it. So we started a grid around here in this area and we started searching for it. And I'm not kidding you, we poked every square inch of this ground trying to find this well. And magically, one day, my farmhand, Tyler, found it. And I really think he kind of found it on accident. He just kind of came up on it. He knew where kind of the idea was, but I mean, seriously, it took us 6 months to find this. And as I already told you, we dropped the thing down in it, and it was completely dry. So what we did to mark the area is we put a post right here and we marked it. I put the cap back on the well. There's absolutely nothing you can do to restore the well because nobody will re-drill it, and I'm not going to pay the money to have somebody come in and blast it because they won't sell me dynamite, and Kentucky's a little funny about that kind of stuff. So now you're asking, what does that have to do with Forrest Gumpism? I'm glad you asked. Follow me. So if you'll look, you can see this line going down through here. We are in the process of building another perimeter fence so that we can contain our animals. In the field, what I'm going to do is just use electric fence to divide up to do grazing and stuff. But the perimeter fence is very important. Now look that way. Look that way. We are in the middle of the woods. Now if you'll turn around and look the other way, that's the farm. No woods. We're basically in the woods on a 135-acre farm, putting a fence through the middle of the woods. So if you'll follow me, I want to show you something. Way down there in the middle of the field is a gas line marker. To the best of my knowledge, and to the guy who showed us where the hidden well, if you haven't figured that out, that's where we got the name of our farm, the hidden well. And we're in the middle of the woods. It's hidden well. The guy that sold us the farm basically said from that marker, it went down the road, down the hill, and followed that holler and went up a mountain. But that's not what it does. It curves from that one marker down there. It curves through the field and it comes right up through here. Now I want you to notice that that was a 6-inch pipe that took us 6 months to find. 6 months to find in a field where we had an idea where to look. This is a 4-inch gas line in the middle of the woods. And we were digging a fence post, got through a big giant tree root, and with the hammer went down, or the brake bar, and just chipped the side of the gas line that we didn't even know was there. It started shooting and hissing and a-blowing, and gas come out. And my 2 farm helpers, Tim and Tyler, were very smart. They stopped what they're doing. They knew what it was immediately. They called me. I called the emergency line. Just really peels the ticks off of my back. Really scratches the briars out of my eyeballs. Really makes the splinters in my toes hurt even more. It boggles my mind that in all of this, just simply putting in a fence post in the middle of nowhere, we hit a gas line. I swear to goodness, that just shivers me timbers. I don't understand. So we hit the gas line. The guys were nice. They came out and they began to fix it. Now it's my birthday, so I get to rant and complain, be a little grumpy. So if you don't like politics, stop right now. I called the emergency number for the gas line. We're in the middle of nowhere on my farm. Okay? I know there's a gas well down there, but there's nothing marked. There's nothing on the map. When I bought the place, nobody said anything about gas lines. And we're putting in a perimeter fence, for goodness sake. I called the emergency number. The lady on the line, first thing she said, "Did you call 811?" I said, "No, ma'am, I didn't." She began to chew my tail out about not calling 811. Now, I have a house in Corbin and a business in London, and I've dug a mighty lot of holes in those places, and before I do any contracting or anything of any nature, I always call 811 because it's much more urban than this. There's a lot of lines. We live right on a main road. We always have everything marked. And when they were building my back porch about 6 years ago, they hit the gas line, but we'd called 811, so we were fine. She begins to lecture me about not calling 811. Now, I not want to lie, and I told her straight up, said I didn't call 811. I didn't call. I mean, I'm on my farm putting in a perimeter fence. But I understand the purpose of 811. I understand the purpose. I get it. I didn't want to hit that gas line. The chances of hitting that gas line is 1 in a trillion, and we should have played the lottery that day instead of dug a fence post. I get it. But now comes the part that boggles my mind even more. Makes me lay awake at night and scratch my head about what we've become in America. Makes me think about how once freedoms are gone, they're gone, and we don't get them back. They just keep taking them from us, okay? So come on, I want to show you something. I'm going to continue on with this story. I am standing in Whitley County, Kentucky. Ladies and gentlemen, I am standing in Knox County, Kentucky. Whitley County, Knox County. Whitley County, Knox County. Well, take your woman, go to town, jump across the county line. I live on the county line, and this is Knox and this is Whitley. Did you get that? This is the county line. I pay taxes to Knox County for that part, and I pay Whitley County taxes for that part. That would seem okay, except after I called 811, I found out that in the state of Kentucky, no matter where you are, all property is subject to the 811 law. So it doesn't matter where you live within the state of Kentucky. Before you dig a hole on your land, period, you are required to call 811. Now, if you don't, you hit a gas line, the first offense is $1,250. I looked all this up. If you do it again, the second offense is between $3,000 and $5,000. The third offense could wind you up in jail with a $10,000 fine, and you may have to go before a judge and explain yourself. So all you people that are in Kentucky, if you don't know this, you better pay attention. You cannot dig a hole on your land, on your property, anywhere in the state of Kentucky. You cannot plant a tree. You cannot put in a fence post. You cannot drill your own water line. You cannot legally dig a hole without first calling 811. So not only do I have to pay the government every year property tax, basically rent my land from the government every year, but now I have to ask them permission to dig a hole. You cannot dig a hole in the state of Kentucky. Now, that hurts my spirit just a little bit, because you spend all your life buying a place, trying to have a farm. You'd think you'd have a little bit of freedom from the man, power to the man, to get away from government influence, to dig a hole, just to simply dig a hole. No, it doesn't work that way. See, I'm going to walk and I'm going to show you something, okay? The reason I walk that out is to show you what 1,000 feet, not 1,000 yards, what 1,000 feet looks like. This is where my butter gets burned, my toast turns up sloppy, and my daggum eggs didn't get cooked all the way. You can only get a permit for 1,000 feet by 1,000 feet. And if you live, like I do, in 2 different counties, you have to do 2 different permits if that 1,000 feet encompasses more than one county. Now we're putting a perimeter fence from there all the way around that mountain thing, back around that mountain, back around this mountain, back down this mountain, back down all the way over that hole. And I'm just telling you right now, I never did get a permit for all that stuff over there, but we are encompassing nearly 50-something acres. You do the math. But we're talking about 28 permits. And they expire. Something else that just makes my frogs quit jumping. Makes my sheep quit going bye. Makes my toes itch in the middle of the night. I do not understand why you can't just get one permit. Why do you have to get 28 permits? That don't make any sense. Whew, makes my hair want to catch on fire. If that ain't enough, I'm not finished. This is our government working for the people. Our elected officials have decided that even though they give you a permit and the guy comes out and he marks everything, and by the way, they were very nice, good people. It's only good till February the 3rd. So you basically got 21 days to build your fence and your permits up. And if you want to continue to dig holes in the designated 28 permit area, you have to call back and do it all over again to get 2 permits, because that's all I would do. Took 2.5 hours. I don't even shave that long, swim in a bathtub that long. I don't know if I've gotten 2.5 hours of solid sleep in my entire life for 2 permits. And that place that I called wanted me to do 28 permits. I simply refused. I just said no. I got 2 permits and I went on about my life. I think I ended up with 4 because they're in 2 counties. I said, that's good enough. The guys come out and they mark it. And they point here and they point there and they tell me where the lines are. They mark them and all that kind of stuff. And I'm fortunate, that's the only thing I've got going through my land. But if I want to dig a hole over there, I asked that guy, I said, can I dig a hole over there? And he said, well, not without an 811 call and a permit number. You got to have that permit. You got to keep that permit. You got to have that permit. Folks, that's the most ridiculous government waste and abuse I've ever seen in my life. I do not understand why they just can't come out and mark their lines and be done with it. It's not downtown Louisville. I'm at a farm in the middle of nowhere. There is nothing out here. But I legally, and you legally, cannot dig a hole on your land. You cannot plow it. You cannot disc it. You cannot do anything without the government's permission. So I asked the fellow what becomes of my violation, my law breaking, my federal crime, my state injunction, my mess up. He said it goes before the Transportation and Safety Commission Board, I think is what he called it, there in Frankfort, and they will make a determination whether they're going to do something about it or not. Whoop-de-doo. Them people don't know me. They most certainly don't know you. And some guy's going to see this piece of paper coming along across with Keaton Smith on it. And if he's having a really good day, he's going to say, it's a farm, don't worry about it. Click it off. If he's having a really bad day, he's going to say, hey, state needs money. Find that guy, $1,250. Teach him a lesson. Folks, I don't know what the answer is, but that sure doesn't sound like freedom to me. I think cooperation and freedom are sometimes 2 separate things. I'm not against calling 811, but I am against uncommon sense. So, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I hope you've enjoyed StoryTime from HyddenWell, and I'm done ranting on my 50th birthday. The Lord has allowed me to live this long and be out here on this beautiful land. Someone said, well, you shouldn't be complaining. I don't think I'm complaining near as much as I'm dumbfounded. I just don't understand sometimes how things work. But the moral of the story is this: you want to stay out of trouble, you better learn what the rules are. God bless. Bye-bye.